It's a super hot day. I'm just trying to make sure we get this whole thing under wraps. Let's wrap up this whole season on a high note. Cue that intro.
Let me tell you a story.
I know it's hard to play the cards you dealt face down. Remain the cause with no pain, remorse to face restart. And I pray you find the ones you trust who will stay down. Yeah.
Hello everyone. Welcome to the long-awaited season finale of Music Perspective. We've had a lot of ups, downs, cancellations, a lot of stuff on pause, and a lot of stuff on hold for extensive research. And I do not have anything else to offer you guys but the most sincerest of apologies. With that being the case, the most I can do is say that for this episode, all I can do is at least give you the bare bones stuff about the artist, because next season will be more in depth, more talking about the artist's history, process, and stuff like that. So let's just take this a little bit more at a calmer pace, a little bit more rapid fire type of stuff, and end this whole thing off with a little bit of fun. Let's go.
Trying to fall asleep again with alcohol and Ambien.
In the case of JoJo, unrecognizable talent now, sure. Back in the day, pop princess that could have gone either R&B or a whole new generation of musical talent that not a lot of people even knew could top the charts in a way that she could. She came in like a diamond in the rough then, and now with her own prowess and skill set even more expanded upon in her adult years, she's probably one of the few artists I've seen that could probably top many an artist today, whether it be the Doja Cats, the Megan Thee Stallions, the, Gayle, and the Emmys of the music scene of today. The way JoJo operates for us today would probably be a homegirl next door aesthetic that we only can associate with Taylor Swift. But there's a reason that her legacy was so grand that during her peak in her teen years, she almost got a show before Miley Cyrus got the Hannah Montana series for those of my generation. It goes to state that how her control is for her vocal ranges, the fact that a lot of her songs, even if certain things in her category can be hit or miss, do hit a sweet spot for all of the younger women out there, or for the couples they're just trying to have a nice groove time. That can really go the testament of what needs to be said and done for the next few things. I'd like to think so, at least.
It's been the longest summer, spring, and fall without you here.
Evanescence, or that band that has Amy Lee in it, as my god kids like to say, has been a revolutionary band for many of people that had their grunge phase growing up. Sometimes just their overly emotional phase in life, where they just needed a band that understood the tone of the youth to really redefine a generation alongside Creed, Disturbed, Slipknot, and the Red Hot Chili Peppers. Or for people like me, it was just Evanescence and Foo Fighters. The unique way that they built up their sound isn't something of they want to cater to an audience that doesn't feel like they have someone that is being ignored, beaten down, and doesn't have an outlet to just scream out and work out to and blah 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 blah. They made a unique sound from many a track that has gone off for years upon years now, even in their solo ventures, that has evoked an emotion within every single listener that can't be replicated by just any band. And this is a band that I've chosen over Paramore, Panic at the Disco, and Maroon 5 over a lot of stuff they've done for my generation for music. It was concise, it was powerful, it left a lot of big impacts on a lot of people I've known that have taken up the microphone, guitars, drums, any sort of instrument that they felt like could be in the same vein of Evanescence, especially trying to match up the tonal cadence of Amy Lee and leave some of the biggest marks I've known on a personal scale that I can't really see being replicated ever again from fans of any other artist from that era. Okay, maybe Haley from Paramore, but that's about it, in my opinion. Maybe I'm wrong. You guys let me know. Okay, here we are with the final thoughts segment, where usually you guys know I'm oftentimes poetic or flowery or just over dramatic about how the similarities for two individual parties of two different genres go alongside each other on a grand spectrum that is beyond all greatness and valor for anyone that's a musophile. Instead, I'm just going to break it down as simple as possible. Whether it is of the grunge, the extra emotional, or the regular rock setting that is Evanescence or just Amy Lee, or if it's just the pop, the rhythm and blues, the soul, the little bit of rhythm and poetry that is JoJo. The fact of the matter is, each one tells it like it is for a storyteller sense that I don't think matches up with any other artist I could have picked out for, in this sense, than these two, for how it evoked something for its fans. Just hear me out before you guys just all of a sudden hit the dislike button, because I had to listen to a lot of different fans about how these two different parties ended up on the same wavelength, and it was staggering. Comparing it to all the people I was looking into for the Lauryn Hill and the, I would say, Savannah Dexter fans, because that was going to be the original finale to this, or about some other individuals I was going to go into, like Paramore and Jonathan Young. There was just something that was universally stated from both fans about these two that coalesced inside the same spectrum about what would need to be said, in a facet that I never thought possible. And that's how, when you put both of them together on a singular day for mood structure, their complementary styles actually synergize in a way that can't really be replicated by any other artist but these two units. The singular performer and the band. The synergy between the two can't be replicated. It's only that one sliver that synchronizes in a way that you can't explain. You have to feel it. If you know, you know. If you don't, then just follow with me on this next tangent, will you? Their synergy for how it goes from a downward spiral to then as an upper echelon of emotions is how it really is a coalescence of beautiful synergy between two opposing forces. And that is something you can't get from just a regular comparison notes, because this is not a normal comparison. There's just something magical that came together when I was talking to the fans, that when I even put the songs that I selected for this video for JoJo and Evanescence, each track did seem to complement one another, where it was, I'm going to be down, I'm going to be writing a sad scene some places, or someone's going to have like a bad backstory for something later down the line in like a movie or something like that. And then afterwards, it was just an empowerment song, or somebody was just getting up from the trenches and finding romance again and blah, 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 blah. The same exact emotional appeal of that roller coaster ride came so much better with these two opposing forces that mesh together better than a lot of other people have given a reason to, involving a listening party. And that's not to say that I've stated the wrong thing about any single person I've talked about in this series. Every artist I've touched on has been a milestone of greatness. But there's something about the synergy between JoJo and Evanescence that is oftentimes more timeless than it seems to be contradictory. And I haven't felt like this in a long, long time. So, thanks for the beauty. I never thought I'd feel so enraptured like this for a finale in my lifetime.
You're good, kid.
Well, guys, that's all I have to say for this season of Music Perspective, where we've had our laughs, we've had our ups and downs, we've had our editing issues, like trying to record this in a scorching hot month during probably one of the worst years financially for many of us. And I still wanted to crack it out. Several great episodes, I'm not gonna lie. And I can't wait to do season 2, where we're gonna try and do a lot more in-depth, probably longer episodes, but just give me time to make those episodes, guys. Give me some time to bounce back to do this properly, alright? Cool. Matane.